Now this is the second video on this channel ever to be a live video. A lot of videos in the past we've kind of practiced, or I've practiced in the hopes that I could go live, but now finally going live for the second time. I think the first time was more of a test drive, so hopefully this one is a little bit better. All right. So if you're familiar with the Run the Numbers channel, you'll know that this video here is part of the warm-up series. So that means I'm on the go. I'm moving through the wonderful, lovely, sunny streets of, and also bumpy streets of Los Angeles, California. And today, I'd like to just go live, could give a little bit of an update about the credit cards that I recently applied for and kind of what's the status. So about, let's see, might have been a good month ago, approximately. I was in need of a new refrigerator, so I went to Home Depot. So yes, I did the whole, okay, I'll get the store credit card. So I did get a Home Depot credit card and all that. And it got me thinking, okay, how about I finally take some action about some of the other credit cards that I've been talking about here on this Run the Numbers channel. And so I returned back to, and I even brought it with me, a little bit of some material here as to that I got sent in the mail, this offer from AAA for their AAA Visa Signature credit cards. And so the one, of course, that caught my eye on this, they have got two that they're trying to push. One is the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature card. That's the one I've got my eye on. The other one they are pushing that I think maybe could be under consideration if I start to do a bit more driving and I need more times that I need it for the times I'll do gasoline purchases, but I don't do all that much, so I'm really not gonna end up doing it. But the other one that is good in that case is the AAA Travel Advantage Visa Signature card. So one is the Daily Advantage, one is the Travel Advantage, and yeah, let's see, I'm just thinking, it might have been a good 3+ months, maybe even more months ago, that I've mentioned that I was considering it for the reason that there's a full 5% cash back, that category of 5% cash back for the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature card. Not to do a big whole commercial of it, but just to explain, why I'm interested in it, is this 5% cash back on grocery store purchases. And I think I went to in length the whole, discovery that is quite a good reward for my use case, since I do so much in our family expenses are very high for grocery store purchases. It's part of the reason why I currently use some cards such as the American Express Blue Cash Preferred card, which has a full 6%. But now I recently have got our family usage of that. We went through that the first year you don't have that annual, the annual fee is waived on the first year, but now I'm into the second year, so I've given some updates about how considering to basically stop using that card. I'm continuing to use that card, but I just wanted to mention it's really a kind of false advertising to say that Amex Blue Cash Preferred card is a full 6%, because if you really factor in the annual fee, that drops it down to like a 4.4 or something a little bit lower, with all things factored in. So with this one being a full 5%, of that category, no, I was reading the other side there. There's one side of the marketing material on this little card for the travel advantage, which is gasoline and EV charging and all kinds of other things. But no, I'm not doing that one. As I explained, I'm doing the daily advantage, and that is the grocery store is 5%. Grocery store purchases is 5%. Okay, so let me explain a little bit about what happened, kind of story time here. So yes, I told you after doing the Home Depot card, it made me reevaluate how I should get back into grabbing for this marketing material and going after the cards that I said I'd consider. And so now, in fact, I'm at that stage, and I went ahead and applied online for this AAA Visa Signature card, this one being the AAA Daily Advantage Visa Signature card. So here's what happened. Basically, I went through the whole application process online. It said, great, all your information has been submitted, and it's under review. So then I, patiently waited and waited and waited and waited. And then eventually, I kind of got maybe a little bit too impatient because a good amount of time went by. And so I just basically called up, I think the contact number through the website. And now the interesting thing is as to okay, so who to actually, try to talk to at this point. Is it AAA and all their customer service? And is it one of their benefits because it's all branded as AAA? Is it Visa? Is it, now all this is operated, as it says in the material here, it's all operated through Community Bank, which is, I believe, all connected through with Bread Financial. So there's a lot of different places to kind of head scratch a little bit as to who can actually help in this situation, because basically it felt like they went radio silent and never got back about the credit card application that I was looking to apply for and use. So eventually I found through to the right customer service, and they basically said, yeah, it looks like here it's under review and we need more information. I said, okay, well, what does that mean? What information? And they're like, I guess we need some ways to just verify your identity. And I guess that's common, so I didn't really think too much of it. And they said, oh yeah, you'll probably receive something in the mail, in the physical mail, that will document, what to do and what to provide and basically steps to go forward. Okay, so it just so happened that actually even a day later, I checked the mail, I finally see this letter, and it says you need to provide, identity verification. And so here's the part that really caused me to pause and think things over as to what to do going forward, is that they wanted me to email, return back information to them via email, and of my passport or driver's license or some government issued ID, social security card, proof of residency, all these various things. And I did not feel great and did not feel like that followed the best security practices to just send all those very sensitive materials over email. So what did I do? Again, I called them up and said basically, looks like my application's kind of paused as you're waiting for me to verify my identity. They're waiting for this identity verification phase, which is great. Because I'll have to admit, even at first, I was thinking that this whole process was taking so long, and all this was just actually that I was, in fact, rejected, which caused me to kind of, again, scratch my head and worry because, I have a very high credit score, and, didn't really understand the whole thing there. And I thought, well, okay, maybe it's that, I got this other credit card, so there's, multiple hard pulls to my credit. I don't know, whatever it is. A lot of thoughts jumped into my head as to some things going wrong. And so no, knowing that they need to verify my identity, that's fine. Okay, but the way they want to do it didn't sit well with me. So I talked that over with them, and they said, well, okay, maybe you have some options. And so at that point, they actually gave me some incorrect information. So I want to share that with you so that maybe you can avoid this. It was the instructions that they said, well, this is all, for your AAA Visa signature card. So maybe you can handle the identity verification part at your local, your AAA location local to you. And there happens to be one within, about 2 or so miles from me. So I said, okay, yeah, I can do that. So I, hopped on over to AAA, the actual in person, waited all in line, and I told them the whole story of how I need to verify my identity, and they're like, no, we don't do that here at this location. We're, handling all parts of member benefits and issues related with DMV functionality, all these various things that AAA does, but no, they're not connected with their credit cards. And they were basically said I was very much misinformed to say that they could handle that part. And I said, okay, totally makes sense. Yep, it's the credit card part to their business is handled from Community Bank side of things. So yeah, I said it did sound suspicious when they told me to go do that, but they told me to do it, so I did it. So they're like, yep. So basically what you can do is, phone them or email back and just say how this doesn't fit well with the security practices that you're used to, and how you don't want to send over these sensitive pieces of information just over email. And so I did that. I phoned them and I said, look, I'm really uncomfortable. Is there any other way? What can we do here? And so here's where it all landed. They basically said, you don't have to you don't have to move forward. You don't have to get this credit card. If you'd like to, go ahead and email all the information, and we'll of course treat it sensitively and do our part with our security practices. And so they basically kind of said, this is where the rubber meets the road. You got to decide if you'd like to do this. So of course, I look into other things. I look on Reddit. I look on other, places online to see if other people had posted about this sort of impasse I was at. And I saw other people had posted that they really were bothered by how they would have to send over sensitive pieces of information, personal identity information over email, and how it didn't sit well with a lot of other people. But they said they went ahead and did it, and that just was kind of part of the process. So I kind of just went against my better thoughts, and in fact I did email that information, and the long and the short is I provided all that information via email, and about a day later, maybe even later that day, so very quickly I just received a phone call that said, we've received all your information and you've been approved, and so just as a next step, you should know the approval has gone through. So here I am at this point, now waiting for the actual credit card so I can use it, the actual physical credit card, and basically setting that all up. So I don't yet have the card, don't yet have it to use. I'd like to use it to do things like pay for my AAA membership and just other things that I'd like to to kind of specifically use this card for. So I'd like to use it. So I'm at this stage now. So I've told you this update that we have got this new credit card of this Home Depot credit card, which I probably will, you know, maybe use once a year kind of thing. I won't use it all that much. But my other update is, yes, this AAA Daily Advantage Visa signature card now has been applied for, and it sounds like approved, and eventually I should get it, and now I could start using it. So those are 2 new credit cards to update everyone here that I now have in my use, but I did get it in through this whole process that you, my loyal, trusty audience should be aware. Didn't exactly sit well with me as the best practice, the best kind of procedure here as to how to actually get the card itself. The whole process of being granted the card wasn't the best, but I went through it, and I'm on the other side of things, it looks like. And at this point, I'll let you know other things about using it once I do, but that's where I'm at. Now I've gotten 2 new credit cards that you, my audience, should be aware of. And the process was a little bit muddy, but yeah, that's maybe I'm a little bit too much of a stickler for wanting the process to be ideal, of which it wasn't. So now, yep, these are things I get to just share with you, my audience. Okay, so that's all I have for today. This kind of long-winded story of how the process wasn't great, but yet, in fact, I did go through it to now get this new credit card in my use. All right, I'm gonna leave us there and stop the video here. Thanks for listening to my rant. And if you have any questions, if you'd like to know some things, let me see if there's any questions from anybody here. It doesn't look like there's really much. There's some comments, but nothing to really mention about here. Okay, so I'm gonna leave us here now, having seen that, and thank you for your time and attention. Bye. Gotta run.